welcome, folks, as TX goes fully sideways in the car for this next round of the Deviant Racing GT4 World Challenge. As we have the qualifying session almost complete, we have TX in second position, but 1.4 seconds away from Mr. Perfect Roux this season so far in first place. Now, I didn't actually see a restart to suggest that qualifying had begun, so my huge apologies if I have indeed missed it. But no, it is just practice. That's good. Okay. I was getting a little bit nervous there, but welcome one and all. We are a little bit late starting, I think, just getting everybody together, and I was enjoying the new special Halloween liveries for the cars here. I did mention that Roux has been Mr. Perfect so far. Well, 4 wins from 4 with 1 fastest lap overall. He has 61 points. I just need to give a nod to our admin who is contacting me just to ask if I'm actually ready to go. I don't know if he's noticed that we're actually live already, but yes, very much ready to go. So there we go. Just had to complete that little bit of internal admin. But yeah, like I was saying, Roux has a perfect score so far, and can he continue it? Would this go down as a tremendous season if he can continue this pattern? 4 wins out of the first 4 races. This one, a very different challenge though for the drivers, and we have TX out there as well. Well, in second place is Arcane, and he has 46 points to Roux 61. And then TX has 37. TX, who was relegated in Season 3.2, looking to go back into GT3s next season. Sully's in 4th, but is on the same number of points as Larry, 36 to be exact. Larry having missed a race the previous round, but Sully having to lose his lowest score. Lalo Kills is in 6th, who hasn't taken onto the track yet at all, as far as I can tell. And is in 6th on 31. We have Saito on 28 in 7th, JDA or Jim on in 8th place, joint 8th with both Thrasher and Dr. Sparkle. Out in 11th is Kuros Kai on 15 points, just one point away from joint 7th. Then we have Billy Bob on 12 in 12th place on 13 points, with Huge Jar on 11 in 13th. Tie Dye is last on 9 points in total. And getting the drivers out onto track as we go for the qualifying session. So let's get into it, shall we? Of course, it'll just be soft tyres for the drivers here, as Jim is the first one, or the lead one, as far as the game is concerned. There are drivers further up in the position on track, though. Let's try and find you that foremost driver. It is, of course, championship leader Roux, who is going to try and lead from the front here and get that pole position early on. This, just the outlap so far. From behind, a nice clear run or line for him. Zen is very happy to be out watching the race. Zen having just taken part in the GT3 World Challenge, and I won't list any spoilers here. But hopefully, Zen, you can give us a review, or you can tell us what the drivers will be watching out for on this circuit. We saw some monstrously scary moments going through the exit of Turn 1, the left-hand bend that is taken at almost full speed. I imagine the GT4s will be maybe just a little dab on the brakes to get through there, but certainly the barrier on the exit of this reverse circuit configuration of Sardegna is very much not equipped for safe racing through that Turn 1. Zen says Turn 1, 7 and final all suck really hard. This tell us what you really think. Here comes Roux then on his first flying lap on the soft tyres, and looking to try and take that pole position early on and can continue his perfect run so far. He's really bucked the trend with his livery today. Lots of drivers going dark and mean and brooding. He has gone for a white and bats livery, which is very nice to see, an original take on these liveries. Just saw the light reflect off the internal ventilation vent on the dash here. Gran Turismo never ceases to surprise me with its touches. Zen saying Rue is a skeleton. Yes, indeed. That would have been good actually if someone had gone full white Dias de los Muertos or something like that. I think that's definitely a note for next year, or a request for next year from me anyway. I don't know if we'll be continuing to celebrate Halloween, or anybody wants to celebrate Guy Fawkes night with me next week, next time we are out here racing for the penultimate round. I'm sure there'll be some other reason to decorate our cars though, as we go through turn 10 now, with our championship leader Rue. We have the chicane coming of turn 11 and 12. Saw a couple of overtakes through here in the GT3 race. So getting a good exit. There's the penalty marker chevrons, where the drivers will go off throttle if they pick up any penalties. And then this is a very delicate section of the track. You've really got to be positioning the car well for the ideal run out of the final corner. You can sacrifice a little speed going in to turn 13 and 14, but as long as you get that power down early and clean out of the final corner, you're in a good shape here for the straightaway at the start-finish position. 149.283 for Rue, and TX goes through in his Tennessee Titans livery in second position. Maxwell, third on the road. Will it be third on the stopwatch? It is so far, but a big gap for Maxwell. Here comes Billy Bob in the blood red Coca-Cola livery, even slower actually. So I think Maxwell and Billy Bob just taking an installation lap. Lalo Kills goes faster than Billy Bob but slower than Maxwell, and then there's a car we haven't seen on track yet. There is Billy Bob himself. Here comes Jim. Bright orange gloves on Jim's. I wonder if those are Halloween special as well, in the A-Stars gloves. But he goes down to fifth as Saito goes into fourth position. Working down through the order, looks like Gyros Kai has gone for a very appropriate shade of orange, pumpkin orange we're going to go with for the car. Tie-dye has settled into 10th right now, and Billy Bob was the slowest of all, but I think just an installation lap for Billy Bob. I think this is his real lap coming on the soft tyres. Notably more futuristic race car feel inside the GT4 for Billy Bob here. Looks like a Thrustmaster steering wheel he's operating here. Puma gloves for him. It's a fully digital display, of course. Personal best into sector 2. So of course giving you the driver's eye view in qualifying, as I like to do, and then we tend to stay away from this camera during the race. But that is certainly not the way to exit out of turn 12. So it looks like that lap is not going to be the one for Billy Bob. Speed Stars in the pits as well. Here then is Larry in P3 at the moment, but some 2.4 seconds away from the incredibly close battle at the front row. He's following Tie-Dye in the Mountain Dew Nissan here and getting a personal best sector by a second so far. Larry through sector 2. Illa Kills just improved up to 8th place. Zen says, I want to see a big finish out of Larry today. He is well due a good finish. Good, okay. Just piling the pressure on Larry here. And getting super tight there on the exit for the Mountain Dew. That did hamper Larry's exit out of the final corner. Had to just delay his throttle application in the GT4. So heading towards the line then for Larry. It is a better lap. He's within 1.4 seconds of the lead, but still some distance away. Riding on board with Maxwell. It's like a chrome colour on the front wing you can see from the cockpit. I couldn't see that from the trackside camera, but still heading up towards the line. Maxwell, no improvement this time out. I think on his fast lap now. Wide entry and the track gripping up, and that was I'm sure that was very, very close to the wall that time from Maxwell going through turn 1. who else is out? I wonder if Roux is pushing again. Let's have a look at Roux. He is heading through turn 11 and 12. Just an outlap for Roux at the moment. 48 thousandths of a second only separating him and TX. TX, the most recent relegatee from GT3s, but I think Roux will be certainly in the battle. Even if he no scores the next 3 races, I think Roux will be in the promotion bubble for the potential GT3 seat next season. I think it will be a season 3.4, but I don't know if we're going over to season 4.0. But you'll have to advise me on that one, Zen, if you would. Jim goes 4th, just behind Larry, but we ride on board with championship leader Roux in the Spotify Lamborghini Huracan. That is proving to be the pick of the field so far this season. Certainly the team have been doing an incredible job. That is 1/4 of a second faster than anybody, faster even than his previous pole position is Roux. We're running low on time though now. Zen says, I think it will be 4.0 next season. Yeah, okay. Do have a reasonable break between seasons. I don't know if that'll send us through the holiday period and out the other end. Almost looked like we were up onto the temporary concrete barrier there for Roux. 2 bites of the cherry into turn 10. I think that was not one that Zen had picked, as the Ohio State rep Glovas says. Correct, it will be season 4. Are you saying into January for the start of season 4.0? But here comes Roux out of turn 12 now, and left, right, and then a very slow final corner, just getting the inside wheel tucked in. On the way out of the corner then, can we further improve? As Glovas has a second attempt to say, hey Webbo, hey guys, it is Roux then, a new pole of a 0.34 second improvement, and TX can't even get closer to the original pole position that Roux set. So this then is TX in the purple of the Tennessee Titans. You can just see on the bonnet. Maxwell doing a good job at the moment. This lap though looking a little bit slower. So we'll see how is Thrasher doing in the low growling Teams In Chevy. Heading towards turn 11 and 12 now. The drivers won't always be so wide on entry through there. Glovas giving me the safety car update. Great, so 15 for the safety car, roughly I imagine quite similar in time to the GT4s, but this gives the drivers no time to really practice those safety car periods. They'll be furiously working out the timings now, and then some of them will just be winging it for the rest of the race. Out of the final corner comes Thrasher. He's still weaving here. It is his final lap. I don't think he's feeling confident that this is going to be the one for him. No, 18 seconds slower, a long way away. Maxwell, I think, has taken the checker for his lap. Here is Jim going slow. Everybody going fairly slow. Can Saito go up from 8th? Yes, up to 6th place and a personal best. One of the few drivers improving at the end. That deposes Jim, actually. This is tie-dye. Then slowing and at a cruise speed. Let's have a look, actually, because we haven't seen this car for Larry. He's gone for a Joker 60s Batman era. Why so serious? You're not going to miss that one on the car, are you? And actually has taken off. Oh, he's just got the Zin markings on the back wing, but very little repping there for the actual team name overall. So that appears to be it for our run. It is no surprises to see Roux at the head of the field by nearly 0.4 of a second, but TX was there or thereabouts. We'll have a good shout into the first corner, I'm sure, and we've got Larry in that 3rd place, but waiting in the pits, not really out there for any particular run right now. Here is Maxwell, and has absolutely covered the car in Halloween stickers. has Maxwell for today for the Special K Scuderia Ferrari. Again, not much in the way of Special K actually on the car this time. They've gone full livery. I just saw Christopher Lee Presents on the skirt there. I don't know if you can just see that as we come around the corner. There it is, Christopher Lee Presents Halloween. Says Maxwell on the car. Thrasher has done nothing for his Chevy this time out. Looks like the Mountain Dew there of tie-dye has dressed the car nicely. There then was qualifying. We'll be right into the race very quickly. 1:48.943, some 0.4 of a second for Roux ahead of the NSX of TX Speedstars. Larry is in third in the Porsche Puma Cayman GT4 Club Sport. We have Maxwell in the 458 Italia, followed by Thrasher in 5th place. Saito is in 6th with Jim in 7th. Tie-dye in 8th place. Remember, we have lap 15 for the safety car. Sully, Kuros Kai, Lolo Kills, and Billy Bob rounding out the top 12. We have one car missing today, so just one short of a full set, and we'll be ready to race. The required tyres today, the hards and the mediums. We may see the softs. We did in the GT3s prior to the safety car. Some drivers putting on the hards to start the race and then going onto a set of softs before the safety car, just to try and nab that fastest lap. We haven't looked at Larry's livery just yet. And hello to the family of Larry, who I know like to tune in. Shout out if you're watching with us live. And it'll be good to hear from you. What you think of Dad's new livery today. You have to talk to us about it. So waiting then for the final round, for the race round of the race to come. Let's get everything organised for you as Roux in the all-white and Bats livery. Team Spotify Lamborghini will be on the front row of the grid. We've got blue flags for no reason at all. We've got 4 lights. We've got 5 lights. It's time to go racing at round 5 of the championship. It's drop the clutch and go, go, go. Larry away very well indeed. Looks like he's wearing a bit of a Mexican-themed livery, or is that Italian? But Larry challenging through into second, all the way into first position for Larry. And through we go into the lead of the race. Medium tyres on board. The Puma Porsche of Larry as he takes and holds on to that lead as the scary clown of Saito is crawling around, has tagged the barrier and is struggling around the corner. Saito through. That is Saito into 12th place on the hard tyres. Glovas snaking around the car. But here, then, is Larry. I think that might be pumpkin pie on the car with some sort of pasta dish on the other side. It's Larry into the lead of the race. What a fantastic start for Larry out there and the Puma Porsches, but the Spotify Lamborghini is drawing alongside. Has managed to get ahead straight away just on the exit of the corner. Roux on the hard tyres, Larry on the mediums, and TX also on the hard. So Larry punching above his qualifying position here, but having a bit of a tyre advantage at this early stage of our race. Great start though from Larry. I'm sure he was getting very, very excited. 1, 2, 3, Roux, Larry, Speedstars, and behind them we have Thrasher heading it down into turn 11 with Kuros Kai ahead of Sully, ahead just about of Jim. Next up, Lalo Kills in 8th with Billy Bob in 9th, and Tie-Dye going the long way around the turn 10. Maxwell has dropped right down the order, started 4th, down to 11th here on the hard tyre. We've got Saito, we saw having problems in the Bobo the Clown or Pennywise, I'm not sure which livery here for Team Spotify. And Glovas is on ice cold tyres, I think, may have fitted dirt or intermediate tyres by the way the car looks to be handling. As Larry in 2nd position. It looks like TX though has got a great run out of the final corner, and here we go into the next corner. Glovas, Zen telling me it's definitely Pennywise. Okay, cool. No problem. Pennywise has a more of a sinister smile than a kind of upset wailing grimace, I think. But that's just my view on it. as a great battle for fourth continues. Kuroskai ahead of Sully, Jim and Lalo Kills. And I think side by side, also just in the background is certainly one of the teams in Chevys. Sully struggling his way around turn 3, 4, 5 of the S's here. And that was actually a purple section for here. Did I not see the teeth, says Zen. I did see the teeth, of course I did. But I just think that Pennywise smiles more than he does grimace. And that's why it made me think of Bobo the Clown, but hey. Arcane, misses not being on track. Why aren't you here, Arcane? Talk to us about what that is. But Thrasher up to 8. Tie-Dye really struggling right now into 9th place. We've got Billy Bob in 10th, Maxwell down in 11th, and Saito there at the back of the grid at the moment in the lamp. We've got Lamborghini and Team Spotify front and rear of our grid here for the first time this season. Arcane is busy moving to a new apartment. Okay, I don't think your priorities are quite in line here, Arcane. We do need to get the rig sorted as soon as you get into position. It's pizza and pasta on the car, so it must be Italy rather than Mexico that he's repping here is Larry. Pizza and pasta on the car. I thought it was pumpkin pie, but no, he's definitely gone for just a rear window Halloween celebration, has he? As Arcane says, yeah, his priorities are messed up. Now, the Tennessee Titans, Speed Stars, ouch, from Speed Stars. How did that feel actually on board with Speed Stars? Let's ride here. This is the problem. You get so close to the car in front, you miss your turning point of turn 1, and through the bend we go, and then boom, straight. I would not have wanted to be there on the VR system. I don't know about you guys. That was a pretty scary one for Speed Stars. So he loses 4 seconds to Larry, who makes it a 2-horse race at this stage of proceedings. Kuroskai into 4th place and a personal best sector there ahead of the similar coloured but different team Jim. Full-on Jack-O-Lantern at the front of the car. Got Lalo Kills out there in the Joker livery for Team Zin in the Chevy. We've got Sully, a nice looking Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew absolutely do seem to lend themselves to some great special liveries, and lots of work goes into vectorizing all the graphics for the Mountain Dew stickers, you have to say. That is Thrasher then, P8 for the 87 car. Sully hitting the barrier, I think, on the exit of the corner of turn 10. And Zen hadn't warned us about turn 10, but it seems to have been a bit of a problem for our GT4s, as Glovas has managed to make it to the pit lane finally, and in he goes. Mathieu Glovas says, no one does it like Team Mountain Dew for the liveries. I'm assuming, Glovas, you are the designer then for the Mountain Dew. I know you would design a lot of the drivers' cars. That is a fastest lap so far from Rue at the head of the field. He's not having it all his own way here. Wow, shaving the barrier from Rue as he comes through turn 1, and clearly Larry pushing him pretty hard. Rue on a different tyre, on a harder tyre right now than Larry, but looking like he's being pushed very hard indeed. I don't know that that Rue really needs to worry about Larry over the course of the race distance, but that was quick from him. Isaac says, Larry. So obviously here for our Aussie friend as the man with 1,000 names. Larry, he's going by right now, is in 2nd place, and clearly making Isaac feel very happy indeed. So Rue leads us by 0.7 of a second from Larry. TX, after clouting the barrier into turn 1, out of turn 1 I should say, in 3rd, and then a big gap out. 12 seconds from the lead is Kuroskai in this Halloween special livery. I do enjoy how much effort the drivers have gone to, and drivers' designers have gone to, as Jim comes through as well. Lots of variations on a similar theme, but that is perhaps the most evil looking pumpkin we have seen so far, is on board Jim's bonnet here, or hood I should say. We call it a bonnet. Lalo Kills is in 6th, and Thrasher in 7th place for Team Zin. absolutely zero effort from Thrasher on the livery today, and I actually showed him in the intervening periods, Thrasher passing Lowry, so obviously focusing on his practice more than his sticker application. As Floody says, let's go Kuros Kai, but Lalo Kills was anywhere but the racing line in that particular sequence. Let's watch on board with him as Thrasher gets through. That was partly a fault of an earlier misdemeanor. I think Lowry losing a little bit of focus for a moment there, unfortunately. And yeah, getting everything wrong about that sector of the racetrack. Sully screams on through, and Lalo continues to hit the barriers. I think I was saying Lowry accidentally. That was Lalo Kills making mistake after mistake for just as I say that, Zen corrects me. Billy Bob, 9th place, hungrily looking at that wayward Lalo Kills Joker livery, who is dropping down the order as we speak. Tie-Dye in 10th, Maxwell in 11th, starting 4th and down to 11th, so what could have been so far for him, but the safety car will allow things to improve later on. Bluvas still on the soft tyres on the safety car. I think soft tyres for the safety car are a good choice, as we have seen plenty of accidents and incidents for our safety cars. I think he managed to get the safety car round and into the pit lane in a better condition than Sully did in the GT3 challenge. But it's fantastical pizza and pasta livery for Lowry, celebrating something about Italy today. We are at Sardegna, so that's probably why. Speedstars certainly seems to be struggling to get the nose into the difficult final part of the racetrack, kicking up a lot of dirt across the circuit in the process, but getting the Honda NSX out. Now you have to tell me whether it's fair of me to suggest that this is perhaps not a Halloween special livery for TX. I think it might be a kind of team that gives people nightmares in some respects, but no, I think this is just a non-special livery today for TX Speedstars. Now we have the battle over 4th. That is Jim in the lead of this battle now. Managed to get past Kuros Kai. I wonder if we can catch that overtake on the replay. Let's have a look. Yeah, we can. Kuros Kai obviously slow away from the final corner and made it very, very easy indeed for Larry. And he's done it again, in fact, struggling through turn 2. Kuros Kai running out of medium tyre grip, I think, at this stage. Very wide, trying to leave a car width on the inside. Wasn't quite sure whether Thrasher was going for the move there. It's Kuros. And then you've got Thrasher going through. I was about to say that I found a new sponsor for Thrasher in between rounds 4 and 5, and he wasn't interested. So I won't be doing that in future. I found a skateboarding and heavy metal magazine in the UK called Thrasher Magazine, and I thought they might represent nicely on his cart for teams in. But obviously happy enough with the finance to not bother. Kuros Kai, very different line to Thrasher on the way through this corner. They've got the same tyres on, similar tyre wear. Thrasher just able to have a look down the inside into turn 11, I should say. But Kuros just holding on to his 5th place right now. But very, very tight on the exit of the corner. I think trying to hold the inside line into the next couple of corners. Thrasher, though, on the racing line and ahead. And we'll just try and own this one, as Kuros Kai is really struggling in the Porsche right now. It is not enjoying this phase on the tyres. Roux has pitted from the lead, off the hard tyre, having used half a tank of fuel. We are going all the way to lap 15, so it may be too early for a soft tyre run here. He's come out on the medium tyres, has Roux, fitted more fuel, and will come out right in front of Kuros Kai and crosses ahead, and that is problematic. That is a problem of not finding your ideal run, your ideal position. This is then the pit exit for Roux. Let's have a look at that again. He comes into the apex and frankly just didn't have the pace and was slow into the apex. We've seen that in the previous race as well. But yeah, big problem for our former race leader. Can he regain his composure and control after damaging the rear of the car temporarily Kuros-Kai has a 3-second penalty for that contact, it looks like. And Arcane says, so look, Rue makes a huge mistake when I'm not there. So, not bitter about that at all, Arcane, I'm sure. Yeah, that did look like, I don't know, was it fair to call that a mistake from Rue? Did he have every right to that apex, or was he just not fast enough? And Kuros-Kai, there is only one way through that corner. There really is not the ability to adjust your line going in there. I didn't unfortunately read the race director's notes before the race. I don't know if they were warned about that turn 1 out of the pits. Zen saying it sucks for Kuros-Kai. He was doing so well. He was, but he was really struggling to hang on to the car in that previous lap. So he had practically zero chance of avoiding contact there with a slower car at the apex. So Billy Bob making the overtake. There is Kuros-Kai, still running a little bit slow out of the corners and getting mullered by Sully round the outside. Sully, the good overtake. Billy Bob now coming to queue up to join the overtake party on Kuros-Kai. That was, of course, out of the corner where he had to pay his 3-second penalty, was Kai. That's why he lost so much time. Here, then, is Billy Bob with Lalo Kills looking for the inside line. That is a better run, then, on the way in. This is a little bit like 130R in Suzuka, this left-hand corner of turn 1. Lalo hitting the brakes to get the nose to grip in on the way in, and Lalo Kills through. Billy Bob both past Kuros-Kai, who is very nervous through the corner there. What is Kuros-Kai up to, and why can't he get the car into the corner? Let's have a look. Kuros-Kai into turn 1. Oh, it was massive contact out of turn 1 again. Boy, oh boy, when it goes wrong for Kuros-Kai, and he goes down the order. Tie-Dye in 11th place. Saito in the Pennywise Spotify Cup is in P12. So coming through out of the final corner. Larry leads right now in the Italian cuisine special livery today, and he's got a 13.8 second lead over TX, who is in 2nd place. Jim is in 3rd, just ahead of Thrasher, who is just ahead of former leader Rue. And as Floody said, Rue versus Kuros-Kai was not on his bingo card. You never know what's going to happen, especially when you're the first to pit and you come out and the gap hasn't opened up. Arcane cheering on Kuros for the win. A lot of water will have to flow under this particular bridge in order for that to happen. Rue looking a little bit leery and wild coming out of the final corner there. He's on new medium tyres. Floody saying Larry is my spirit animal. Jim followed by Thrasher, followed by Rue. 3 cars in a line going through turn 1 and all avoiding the exit barrier. That is an evil exit barrier, very appropriate for this time of year. Sully, will he manage to make it through without contact? Yeah, lots of stability on that Nismo. It's not the quickest car, but it's certainly well planted on the racetrack. Lalo Kills look to have taken that quite close. Kuros-Kai, has he solved his handling problems? Not yet, I don't think. Down in 9th place and happy to shed those tyres pretty soon. We have 6 laps to go before the safety car, so essentially 4 complete laps before the drivers will have to pit. Billy Bob is in the pits, fueling up, putting on new tyres. I don't know if that's soft tyres perhaps for a run up to the safety car point, so you can use the softs and not lose too many positions, but new medium tyres it is for him, and it is Saito on the mediums, fairly new mediums as well. Floody says I'm team captain, and if Larry doesn't win, he's out of the family. Looks like in fact you even told him that he's out of the family if he doesn't win today. On the plan here to spoil the perfect run of scores from this streak here from Rue, who has won all 4 of our first rounds of the championship. But Larry, at the moment, just backing the car into turn 1 and clearly enjoying the handling of this Puma Porsche right now in the pizza and pasta split livery. Going to try and find out what the toppings are on that pizza, and I hope he hasn't put any pineapple on it for the sake of honouring his Italian team. Roux has a half-second penalty, but he's drawing alongside Thrasher into turn 1. Doesn't need to take these risks, Roux, and he's straight into the barrier again. Roux is pushing like hell right now, appropriately enough for this time of year, I suppose. Up the inside of Thrasher, so unfamiliar grip levels on the way into the corner. This is Roux, just a lift off. Felt a little bit odd going through the corner there, perhaps, but a big collision once again for Roux, and it is going from bad to worse right now for Roux. Arcane, so what am I? Roux's good luck charm. It seems that way, as he's now still got a penalty to pay as well after clattering the wall at some speed. This track is biting harder than the high speed ring with the amount of Armco barriers that are here as well. The high speed ring was not quite as damaging to our cars as this seems to be at this stage. 29 seconds away from the lead is Roux. He has pitted, Larry has not, but he's also picked up an awful lot of penalty points as he comes to the right hand. He's going to get aggressive on the outside on the way into turn 11. He's going to close off Thrasher. This is a bit unnecessary because he's about to pay the penalty for this, and he's going to have to make the pass once again. There he is, off the throttle. Thrasher's going to go around him. He could, if he wished to, go through him, but it's a risk. Larry pits then with 5% fuel remaining, and Roux has the pass to do all over again on Thrasher. So out of the final corner, Roux will be just hoping that the rest of the drivers peel into the pits now, but it looks like he's going to get the opportunity to be on terms with Larry. So maybe he's pushed hard enough. Will we see Larry come out of the pits ahead? No, so Roux does get out ahead of Larry, despite 2 incidents going through turn 1. And will Larry make it through turn 1 on cold tyres, on cold hard tyres as well? And he does. So I think he is going to run this set of tyres across the yellow flag caution period, as we'll expect to see that soon. Thrasher's in the pits, Maxwell's in the pits, ready to refuel in a moment. And Sully promoted to 5th right now in the Mountain Dew Voodoo livery, car number 53, Nissan. What have we got on the car here? It is the Voodoo, but a slightly different take on the Voodoo flavour, I want to say, of Mountain Dew. Gen 4 across the front as well. So Lalo Kills in 6th place. Has been using the hard tyres since the start of our race. Might try a set of softs for a quick blast prior to the safety car of lap 15, meaning that the racing lap of lap 13 to the end of lap 13 is the final opportunity to pit for our drivers today. Tie-dye in 8th, again for that Mountain Dew team. A little tap on the brakes to continue rotating the car through the corner. This is Maxwell, just pitted, back out on medium tyres, so P9 on performance. Billy Bob in 10th, maybe a little bit of lag spike there for Billy Bob. Kuros Kai in 11th place. R Saito, one of the best liveries of the bunch, I think, today, but unfortunately not able to get the TV time, being at the back of the grid. TX has pitted at the from 3rd place. So is Jim from 4th, both from the hard tyre. And this is Larry, 5.9 seconds away from Roux, and that just underlines Roux's pace on the in-lap, pit stop and out-lap procedure. But Roux barely putting any fuel in, so hardly any stationary time. So the bulk of that 6 seconds would have been in profit from not fueling. I think he's going to run here, and that was a big sideways moment from Roux. He just held it coming through over into turn 7, but I think going for that fastest lap, it's not happening at the moment. He has it from lap 8, 150.348, which is running some 9 seconds slower per lap than the GT3's managed. Zen will know all about that. Zen, while you're watching, you can tell me how it was that Nismo opened a 4-second gap on you between the in-lap pit stop and out-lap procedure, because I could not explain it. Did you make a mistake going into the pits or something? It was an odd one from what I could see. I didn't see anything obvious. But here is then Larry in that P2 as the drivers just settling into these positions, I think, until the safety car will come out. Don't want to scrub their tyres too much. Zen said I made a bunch of mistakes after the final pit stop, so it was an outlap issue, was it? He said decent pace, but Nismo flawless. You did get the nod, nice overtake or two in the race, but yeah, overall Nismo, the consistency, marginal consistency ahead. Alexandra says go Larry go. That's from Gus. Shout out to Gus. I hope Larry's daughter is watching as well today. I know he hasn't got Barbie on the car, but maybe we can get her to watch if he does put Barbie or another one of her favourite toys or movies on the car each week. Tie-Dye in 7th, and Maxwell is down there in 8th place. Nice little parade of cars at the moment. Maxwell, Lalo kills Billy Bob for 7th, for 8th, 9th and 10th. Kuros Kai, after the pit stop, I wonder if he has settled his issues. He's on the hard tyre now, so he's going to have even less grip than he was experiencing earlier. So not the best of news for Kuros Kai. He really seems to be chucking that car around a lot. Glover saying way too many crashes for him. Yeah, you really did damage that beautiful livery quite a bit. But still, bringing it home where you did, I don't want to give spoilers out, but overall, I think decent run. Teammate had kind of the opposite fortune through the race. Billy Bob and Glovas, Billy Bob into the pits, Saito through. Glovas is obviously in the pits because he's waiting for his star showing. Rue's lead is 14 seconds, but he did not pit for fuel earlier on. He's gone for the fastest lap. He's just got the fastest lap here on lap 12 and into the pits on his final opportunity before the safety car. I think Larry has cruised on this lap, and while we've got Gus watching, I want to know what Gus thinks of the pizza and pasta livery for car 77. Here comes Larry across, and still waiting on Glovas. Rue's in. Zen said he did pit earlier on, but we had a quick hard stint planned. It's Larry through turn 1. Larry looks really on it through turn 1. Lots of drivers looking a lot more nervous than Larry, who has got the measure of turn 1 so far, it seems. Goes TX through into second, Rue then into third place, fitting another set of medium tyres. So I think he's going to be running mediums for the rest of this race, potentially. They'll get a heat followed by a cool cycle as we go into the yellow flag period. Just still waiting, got to wait for the whole field to pass our safety car. Gus thinks pizza and pasta are okay, but he designed the Deviant Halloween logo. Oh, fantastic stuff. So that rear window that we can see on Jim's car, is it this one? The Happy Halloween here on the back of Deviant. That's nice work, Gus. Love to see it. I assume that Larry went ahead and vectorized it and added it as a sticker. This is Thrasher with 0 effort. So Gus, you're going to have to start working for more teams, I think, because clearly Teams In needed some more stickers putting on this car for Halloween, don't you think? P5, it's a scary colour, but that's about all you can really say about it. And it looks like Lolo Kills getting out on the dirt in the background here. P9. As we go through the lime green Halloween special of Maxwell, we get the Joker livery of P9's Lalo Kills coming through. So where is Glovas? Heading out of the pit lane, staying clear of that white line so we avoid a penalty, and he is out in front of now Larry, who is our leader of the race. Let's have a closer look at the pizza and pasta livery. Gus, not a huge fan of pizza and pasta, it seems. We've got olives on there, we've got, I think, salami, and a bit of pepper. Nice stuff. And then a very traditional looking tomato pasta dish for the right side of the car, and then of course the designed sticker on the back window as well. Deviant Halloween we go. Touch of basil on that pasta as well for Larry. Here is TX. We've seen of course his Tennessee Titans livery aplenty already. Also got the breast cancer awareness pink ribbon on the back of the car as well. No Webbo sticker as far as I can see. Then we've got the White and Bats livery of Rue for Team Spotify. I'm not sure, you have to let me know if you know the significance of A7X. Is this an album cover that's particularly scary, or is the A7X relevant to something else for us? Next up we have the Honda as driven by Jim. He's gone for an orange to black fade with Halloween stickers, and as I say, the scariest pumpkin on the hood that I've seen yet, making good use of the shape of the NSX at the front. Not quite as good use of the hood and grille as I thought was shown in the Ferrari of the GT3s. This then the Mountain Dew Voodoo livery of Team Mountain Dew's car 17. Wow, that's super close. Super close-up view of that one. And even got colour match rims, and they look to be variated colour matching on the car as well. This then is Maxwell's colour scheme. Anybody of a nervous disposition, look away, because I think we've got a Freddy Krueger on there and a Chucky as well. Every Halloween movie possible. That's not me doing that camera work, by the way. It's the close walls here at Sardegna that just completely ruin the opportunity to look at these cars. But you're not going to miss this one coming. It says truck or treat on Maxwell's windshield. I think we need a few more stickers on this one for Team Zin, but we've definitely gone for a full-on Joker in all his evolutions for the Zin car. Next up, I think perhaps the most tasteful Halloween livery special we've seen yet. This is Gyros-Kai. Larry has pitted to get rid of the hard tyres. Now that surprises me, but I think he just wanted to shed the hard tyres because they are a horrible race tyre, frankly. And this is a track you do not want low grip at all. That then is Gyros-Kai's livery. We've got the blood red to black fade and a polar bear. I've never seen a polar bear being used for Halloween. Much more of a Christmas thing, or a polar bear. But anyway, Coca-Cola in P11. Saito then, and in the Pennywise, the dented Pennywise Spotify Lamborghini Huracan. Of course, there's Stephen King. Now I see it on the rear wheel arch. No special livery on the safety car either. I got a sneak peek at a work in progress safety car for the next season, and I have to say it looks great so far from what I've seen. It says it on the top too, says Zen. Good stuff. Okay. Avenged sevenfold, says Isaac, for this one. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you. Spooky metal and devil horn symbol there for the emoji. So good stuff from him. That was our safety car driver, Glovass, just getting a little bit sideways again. Is that worth another look? Well, why not? Here he is, wiggling around a little bit, and we saw this. So it's a tight turn 7, but just getting the tail out nicely. We don't mind a bit of that from Glovass. So always fun to see. Is our safety car drivers enjoying their moment in the spotlight as usual. Rue is in second place then, and despite that huge impact on the barrier, could still walk this one quite convincingly. I wonder how many places did Larry lose pitting back there. That is a P9, so he is at risk of being chucked out of the Porsche Puma family, says Floody anyway. So that's fighting talk and big talk there. I know Glovass is listening in, so he's deliberately doing this now. Brilliant stuff from Glovass. I think we've just got time to look at that again. Even better. Little wiggle there from him. Woo! and the car almost going all the way around. I think he's locked the differential just for that experience for us. So great to see. Thanks to Gluas for that one. You don't get that with Bernd Mailander, do you? So we're ready to go green flag racing very soon. In comes the safety car finally with his law enforcement equipment on the front. It is green flag racing we go, and Speedstars leads them away. It is going to be hairy going through turn 1 here with cold tyres for the field. Let's see if everybody can avoid any contact with the barrier. It looks like they're all being careful enough. So nice work from our GT4 World Challenge crew as Sully defends. We've got Lalo Kills on the inside. Oh, and it's Maxwell getting absolutely nerfed and sent flying. But I think it was the fact that he was very, very slow heading into the difficult turn 2. And then everybody just kicked off straight into him. So he brakes late. He struggles to the inside line. Stops the car almost, and of course then just gets dispatched. Larry was spinning as well. That was a problem for Larry. Let's have another look at that from Larry's perspective. Oh, I'm not sure we can. Okay, a big problem for Larry. So he was down into 11th. He's about to take 10th position off Billy Bob. So a very, very successful first stint for Larry is turning into an absolute nightmare today. And Maxwell, even worse. From 4th to the tail of the field, back up in the order and then back down to 12th place. Roux has taken the lead of the race while we watched all of that taking place. I'm afraid I haven't been able to catch that overtake within the replay buffer, but Roux leads us by 1.2 seconds from Speedstars from Jim. We have Thrasher in 4th place. Medium tyres for these drivers. I think that's what we are going to see, as Lalo Kills is obviously paying a huge penalty for that contact with Maxwell. I'm not convinced that was all his own fault. Gyros Kai then, and he's fully sideways going into the slow stuff, and matching spins there from Saito. What is happening to our drivers here at this stage of the race? This is absolutely shocking stuff. Shocking driving as they get on through past the driver here, past Lalo Kills. Gyros Kai, watch for him getting it wrong on the curb. He's fully sideways, and then just mirroring the issue goes Saito, unfortunately. So lots of people complaining about the final corner, says Zen, but wow, Roux himself has also picked up a penalty. That's probably contact with the barrier again. I'm just constantly hitting this replay buffer at the moment, so apologies. But this is Roux into turn 2. It must have been going through turn 1, I think, where he had a problem and has picked up a half second off throttle penalty as they go through. Flood's saying mid-engined rear-wheel drive cars are tough to stop, the turns and the elevation. Yeah. Zen saying Roux probably cut turn 1 too much. Better to cut than to take it wide. Jim's in 3rd on the medium tyres, and I think most drivers have got the option tyre out of the way, the hard tyre, and we'll be looking to try and run the mediums for the final 2 stints, this one included, of our race. TX is not far away from Roux. You'll certainly hope Roux continues to go off track and pick up penalties. Roux a little bit scrappy today. And it seems like while Arcane is moving house, Roux is getting all of his bad luck out of the way. So I don't think that's going to be happening, making Arcane particularly happy today. Roux is now just half a second, thanks to that penalty, ahead of TX, who in the Tennessee Titans livery will be looking to try and score highly as he goes through. Floody says, if you brake too hard with the wheel turn, the back end is coming around for a high five. Okay, not at all, he says. Okay. Not happy at all about this performance from Roux today. Maybe it's a sign of things to come, Arcade. Or maybe it's the fact that you're not pushing him and keeping him focused that's causing the problem. Well, TX is trying his hardest to challenge Roux, and Larry did earlier too. Jim is ahead of Thrasher at the moment. How does Thrasher always end up near the front of the grid in these post-safety car periods? TX has a fastest sector of the racetrack as they head into turn 7. TX on the ascendancy here, looking good actually in the Honda. And the Honda itself looking good out there, the drivers, because that is Jim in third. I still haven't heard from TX what his helmet is supposed to be. I keep seeing it and not being able to close in. So that is a fastest sector from TX again, and that was Thrasher just off the circuit on the exit at the background of the shot there, coming out of turn 10, which does seem like the GT4s have struggled through turn 10 more than the GT3s did. You can see how much pitch and yaw the cars are going through this tricky final 3 corners of the track. The Speedstars sideways out of the corner, and what a run Speedstars had through that final corner phase. It's going to draw fully alongside Roux, and I think be ahead on the way into that horrible turn 1. Here we go, slightly offline from Speedstars. Roux already with the tail out. Speedstars millimeters from the barrier, but getting the car stopped okay. Getting a little bit of a push there from Roux coming through. I think Roux's about to retake TX, who ended up on the grass. No, not quite. Speedstars with sufficient momentum in the NSX to clear the chance for Roux to jump down the inside. And Speedstars going a little slower, but he did just set a new fastest lap there. A 150.013 is faster than Roux's fastest time of 50.120. It is super close in the outright pace of the race so far. Roux looking for that inside line. TX not willing to give it. The inside on the way into turn 10, and they come to blows, and that again really clumsy from both of them, I have to say. Let's try and find that one again from Roux's perspective. Any advance on this one as he draws alongside. Track is turning left, Roux is going straight. They touch here, and both losing pace as a result. And then Roux is all out of shape again. I think probably allowing Speedstars to come through so as not to gain an advantage from that contact. But they're touching again. You have to say, Roux, with 4 consecutive wins, does not need to be driving with quite such a level of desperation as he is. I do feel he's got the underlying pace to make the overtake eventually, but TX doing a sterling job staying ahead at this stage, you have to say. 19 minutes to go, just over, and Jim crosses the line for a personal best lap of a unsure what time. There was 1:52.605 anyway. Personal best sector. Larry crawling his way back, says Floody. Let me have a look then for Larry. Here he is in 5th and heading up towards Thrasher. Great call from Larry. I knew what you meant, Floody. I know in the excitement to type quick in a live chat, spelling mistakes come in. But Larry taking 4th now. So his gap to the lead is only 11.1 seconds. So he could still get to the podium. 4 seconds is his gap to Jim in front. Jim in the Honda and catching Roux now, Jim, after Roux had that scrappy lap 20. So this is going to be quite interesting coming towards the end of this tyre stint. Roux with a lot of work to do now, having got a deficit of 5.4 seconds to TX, who could be on to spoil Roux's perfect streak so far this season. Around we go, turn 10, and that's another example of why it's so blind, that trackside furniture completely covering your view through the corner. That's Jim in 3rd. Here comes Larry leading Thrasher in 4th and 5th. Sully leading his teammate Tie-Dye on the way down into turn 11 and 12. There is Tie-Dye. Behind them, Maxwell in 8th. On the recovery as well, having made up a few more positions. Lolo Kills in 9th place, heading to the pit lanes shortly with that amount of fuel on the car. Billy Bob and Kuros Kai come through in 10th and 11th, with Saito, again, a little distance away. Hasn't yet rounded turn 10. as the drivers in front of him are heading down towards the back, or towards the end of the lap. There is TX, and certainly the Titans livery working well for him here in the NSX. Roux still 5.4 seconds away. Jim hasn't really been able to close in on Roux's gap so far. Larry, though, is putting in some great pace. 2 sub 1 minute 51 laps on consecutive laps there for Larry, and he's made overtakes through those as well, so some good pace at this stage. You just hear the helicopter overhead as Larry is trying to rag these medium tyres. I wonder, whether the drivers will try and get through to be able to just use the softs at the very end of our race. They'll have to go a little bit further and deeper into the race. 3 or 4 more laps, I would estimate, before the soft tyre window is open to them. That's Thrasher in 5th. Larry did just clear Thrasher, and then the 2 Mountain Dew Voodoo cars are running here. I see the 53 has got Gen 4 on the front, and number 17 has just got Nissan on the front of the car. Quite sure what the point of that, what the relevance of that is, but Jim has just dropped several places. How did that just take account? Well, he's just nerfed the barrier. Thankfully for Larry, he could go all the way through, but Jim getting turn 10 wrong again. Big issue for the drivers today is that turn 10. So Jim, who was chasing down second place Roux earlier, has just over-egged the level of grip onto turn 10 and has gone to 90 degrees to the race direction. Thrasher into the pits for what he hopes will be his final pit stop, as Larry, I think, made contact with the barrier, certainly hesitated on the exit of turn 1 and kicked up some dirt and dust and tyre marbles out there. Get offline going into that corner and you are in trouble. It is Larry then on a provisional podium with a pit stop still to make. I certainly fancy here. Roux a little bit crossed up, trying to get the car stopped. He's gained 2 seconds on TX in that last lap. Roux doing a slow lap and then a fast lap. A 50.012. Speed stars a 0.13. There is 1,000th of a second between the ultimate pace of the cars so far. They have got a strong wind, 7.1 meters per second westerly wind, which is going to be a bit of a crosswind into a tailwind through that turn 10 that they've just gone through. And I think that is partially explaining the problems that they're having, as the car suddenly gets a bit of a kick of wind and it is going through the mid-corner phase of the long turn 10. And Larry, long in time, it is quite a slow corner, but maybe that is explaining what is happening to the drivers. They'll also be picking up a tailwind going into the final corner, and we've seen a lot of cars a little bit out of shape into that final corner as well. So potentially that is what is happening, as well as the fact that these are mid-engine rear-wheel drive heavy GT4 cars. Jim will be hoping. Oh, he's got a jack-o'-lantern helmet as well. Haven't seen that on any other driver so far. So extra style points. Pick of the liveries today, folks. Who's on your pick so far? I do like the fact that Roux's gone a different direction to a lot of people. And this jack-o'-lantern on the bonnet and on the helmet for Jim is very impressive. Mountain Dews always look good, got to say. I feel like we wanted bigger or more stickers on Lalo Kills. Jim's says Arcane is his pick. The simplicity of the Pennywise is pretty cool, but loses a couple of points for me for not having a menacing smile on the front. Certainly no lack of stickers on Maxwell's, and you can certainly see it coming today. I think, this is the most tasteful, but do you want tasteful liveries for Halloween? I'm not sure. But yeah, I think my pick today is going to go with Jim. It is the scariest in my view, with a special mention out to Roux and Team Spotify for the Avenged Sevenfold livery here. looking very good, and he's out now, only 1.7 seconds away from the lead of the race. Had an estimate there earlier on, Zen saying should be 31 total laps. He's been furiously calculating this, so there's plenty of time for Roux to catch and pass Speedstars, but TX will certainly have something to say about that. Although heading into the pits, I would imagine now for his final stop comes Speedstars. Roux goes through, so I think Roux has a better chance here today of running the soft tyres at the late phase of the race. One more lap potentially for these drivers, and certainly Larry has got that opportunity as well. More fuel on the car, as here Floody says Roux is the scariest based on board riding. Yes, I should have been riding in the passenger seat for Roux heading through the corners, and that definitely would have been the scariest. You're absolutely right, but that's not strictly about the livery design. So I'm gonna still stick with Jim's car as being the scariest of the liveries. And if you are lactose intolerant like I am, you would definitely have to say that pizza and pasta is a little bit on the scary side. I miss pizza so badly. Here is Larry, and he's just making me hungry looking at that car. That is TX having lost those positions thanks to the pit stop, and he has actually gambled on the soft tyre with potentially 6 to go. That's quite, yeah, that's quite difficult. 7 complete laps here, says Zen, for TX on the soft. That is a bit of a gamble in my view. Maybe you guys would disagree. Maybe it's different on the GT4s. I know that a lot of GT3 drivers are watching us, and Arcane. That wasn't meant to be shade throwing on you, Arcane. Yeah, Flood's saying, dude, I'm so sorry you can't eat pizza. Yeah, I will be taking sympathy votes for sure on that one, because it is a great loss, and I have tried non-dairy cheeses on pizza, and it is a thoroughly disappointing experience. It's worse than a savoury muffin, I've got to tell you. There's no such thing as a good lactose-free or vegan cheese yet. Anyway, Tyler says, thanks to Golden Oracle for the Mountain Dew skins. Absolutely. These Mountain Dew skins have been very, very well designed, beautiful, and different across the two teams as well. They're both repping the Voodoo Mountain Dew livery, or at least can design, I suppose. Quick mention for our Saito here in the Pennywise. He is up to 8th, but yet to pit. Lalo Kills in the 60 Joker. He's in 9th place. There is Maxwell. And he was just ahead of Lalo Kills earlier on. Isaac says, I'm also lactose intolerant, but I'd rather die in a public bathroom than never taste cheesy goodness ever again. Billy Bob out on the gravel just as we cut to him, so he won't thank me for that little low light. Kyros Kai has been wrestling this Puma Porsche all race long, and has pitted for the final time. Our Saito coming in on 1% fuel left on the car. Here is Roux then, with just a short distance to go in the race, just about 9 minutes 10 seconds on the clock. So I think the soft tyre window absolutely open for Roux. Speedstars though, TX will be going pretty quickly here on the new soft tyres, so I wonder if that will actually give him track position advantage, although of course it will be Roux not having to stop quite as long to fit the fuel required to the finish of the race. Here he comes then to the left into pit lane. Absolutely full chat was Roux that time round. Larry in for his final stop too, and I'm sure a set of soft tyres. This then is TX. He'll be hoping to try and be within striking distance of Roux after his pit stop. Both Roux and Larry on identical 4% of fuel they ran down to. Here comes TX then in P3. That was the fastest lap yet from TX on the soft tyres, and out of the pit lane comes Roux behind TX. So TX with that fastest lap, earlier pit stop, has managed to open up a huge gap. Bear in mind, you know, he was behind prior to the pit stop. That's huge. 3.8 seconds. That is Nismo level of outlap that we've just seen from TX. A 1:49.7, clearing the new fastest lap by 0.3 of a second. But I'm sure the other soft runners will be there or thereabouts. TX has got to stretch these tyres to the end of the race, but he's certainly done job number one here with a handful of laps left to run. We have 7.25 minutes to go in the race. Roux is now 4.1 seconds as he brings those tyres up to temperature. He's got half a tank of fuel on the car, as has Larry, maybe slightly less for Larry in the 77. But our top three, head and shoulders above the rest of the drivers today. Larry has been driving the wheels off this car, and I wonder if with this recovery drive, Floody will let him stay in the family, give him a stay of execution, perhaps, on his thanks to bringing the car home on the podium. Maybe we'll have to hear from Floody and see what team captain makes of Larry's drive so far. I don't think was fully to blame for the issue earlier on, but maybe Captain Floody is all about results only, and a hard taskmaster. Second position for Roux under the windmills through the final corner of Sardegna reverse, and the gap now is 4.2. So I wonder if we should just ride on board with Roux as we go for a fastest lap here on the freshest, best tyres he can try and use, skipping across the apex of turn 1 as much as possible with a little lift, and then heavy braking down into turn 2. This is a really happy place for a driver to be in. I think TX just lost a bit of speed going through there in comparison, but Roux then is going to be absolutely 10 tenths on this lap to try and secure not only the fastest lap, but the perfect result today is, of course, the aim to continue his perfect streak of races, 4 wins from 4, and he just gets slightly sideways going into turn 7, but I think didn't lose a lot of speed as a result, managed to catch the car on the way through. We run then flat out all the way downhill towards the blind apex of turn 10. Can't see anything. You might be distracted by the church on the outside. Losing pace on this lap, and look at this sector. That is 1 second faster, clear second faster. Roux has gone on this lap than he has been before, than Larry, than TX has been before as well. Through the chicane we go, and then just the final 3 corners left to run here. The car straightened up as fast as possible for the best braking into the final corner, slightly wide of the apex, but I think this one is going to be a new fastest lap here from Roux as we head towards the line. No real errors in that final sector. Could perhaps left a tenth or two out there, but there it is by half a second, a 1:49.161 for Roux. Now the plan now, of course, is going to be try and catch and overhaul Speedstars, who is trying his level best to bring those soft tyres home. Larry was left for dead by Roux's pace on lap 28, but maybe he's playing a smarter game and can close in later on in the race. While those guys continue to fight against the stopwatch, we'll have a look, see if they find any more battles in the order. Jim is in 4th, Thrasher in 5th place, separated by 2 seconds. Sully is 6.7 further back, but has got a convincing 2-second lead over his teammate Tie-Dye. Does look like that's the pace of Team Mountain Dew in the GT4s today, is in the midfield. Lalo Kills in 8th, has got a 3-second advantage over 9th place Maxwell. Those places were reversed earlier on. And then further back we have Kuros Kai, and then it looks like we do have a nice tight battle, and it's for the final positions in today's race. That is Billy Bob in the blood red and black Coca-Cola being chased by the Team Spotify Pennywise livery of our Saito. Our Saito braking slightly off the racing line there. and having a look through and past the car. Apparently we've got the book film title It on the roof. There it is, yes, in blood. That makes absolute sense now, of course. Zen saying TX and Rue are close. Is that right? Okay, yeah. So TX just gave up 2 seconds of a lead in a single lap through there. So great catch. Appreciate that from Zen. Watching round the order, watching how those drivers are doing. TX now on the defensive into the tight turn 2 and hugging that apex like his favourite granny and holding on to that first position. Coming on out of turn 2. He should be okay now if he just stays on the racing line until the entry to turn 7. And then again, it's all about just focusing on those braking points and not opening the gap as Rue is fully sideways, but not for the first time into 7 has Rue been turning left to go right as he goes through turn 7. It's Rue then chasing down in the wedge-shaped Lamborghini behind TX's Honda NSX, which in front of any other car looks very well slipstreamed and designed. In front of the Lamborghini looks like it's been carved out of stone. So Rue draws alongside. Speedstars has the inside line, but Rue with the better run and is already through. So it looks like, bar any further problems, and Floodie's comment comes in just slightly too late, but bar any problems, it looks like we could be 5 wins from 5 for Rue. We have seen some mistakes from him today. He is fallible. He's just trying to prove that he is human after all. But Rue is ahead, and it looks like Zen says the fresher soft tyres 1 out, and Speedstars is going to struggle, I think, to hold on to that second place against Larry, who is only 3.7 seconds back. But we have 45 seconds left of this lap, so that is a big overhaul Larry will have to do. And I don't think he's got the tyre advantage here, so he's going to have to rely on a mistake from Speedstars as Rue leads us on this, the final lap of the race. So Rue making it count on the penultimate lap of the race, and well, you've only got to lead 1 lap of the race to win the race, and that is the final one. So we will see if Rue can make this 5 from 5. I don't know if it has happened if it has happened before in Deviant Racing history that anybody has done this 5 from 5, whether it goes on to win 7 from 7. Sully's crossed the line in 7th, so the race is over for 7th, 8th and 9th. That's Lalo Kills and Maxwell. We've got Kuros Kai coming around in 10th place. He will take home a point at least for the day's racing. And there he is then in the orange Puma Porsche. Our Saito out and round in the Pennywise Spotify in P11. Billy Bob some distance away actually, and will not finish ahead of the end of this race. We'll just see if Larry is catching. He absolutely is catching. Rue is heading into the final corner. I've got to make the call for Rue, because Rue rounds the corner, and it is going to be an absolutely perfect 5 from 5 as they go side by side into the final corner. Do the second and third positions. It's Rue who takes home the win in round 5 of the championship, and we are going to have a drag race to the line. I just want to watch this again before we get there. It looks like it's going to be Larry, but here is the overtake opportunity for Larry as we run down in towards that final corner. He had to go for it. It was all to play for. There was a tiny bit of contact. He did leave room in the end. Will we have this one be judged by the stewards more harshly as they rub paintwork? I think Larry is going to get it as they get to the line. Speedstars actually seemed to come off the throttle or enter low fuel mode potentially into that final section. Here comes Jim to bring home the Honda NSX in P4, 3rd and 4th on the road at least for the Honda team. So crazy finish there. Thrasher in 5th, Tie-Dye will cross the line in 6th. And not only, I think, did Speedstars run out of tyres, he ran out of fuel as well. Tie-dye home in 6th, Sully in 7th. But your winner for the 5th time in round 5 of the championship is the all-conquering Roux. I don't know if you guys can watch that back and confirm whether it was a fuel issue for TX at the line, but congratulations go by way of Roux. That was a perfect day's racing once again. It's a perfect result. Perhaps not exactly a clean set of wheels. I don't think he'll get. He's going to get the clean race award today, Will Roux. But it doesn't matter how you do it, as long as you do it and come home with the W. There is your championship leader, the undefeated Roux in season 3.3. The family cheering for Larry. Let's give him a quick cameo, because a second place for Larry. Fought it very hard all the way to the end, and had the better of the strategies between himself and TX. But there you have Roux, pole position and victory. Not a clean race today, but an effective one nonetheless. Floody says, not good enough from Larry. He is out. Well, I think Larry's family will be supporting him nonetheless. Here is your result then. This is the provisional result pre any steward inquiries or appeals. You've got Roux from Larry, from TX, from Jim. Thrasher in 5th, with Tie-Dye in 6th, getting ahead of Sully in the end. I think, that was potentially like some penalties or something for Sully, with Lalo Kills in 8th, or a fuel issue possibly for Sully. Maxwell in 9th, Kuroski in 10th, Saito, and Billy Bob at the back of the grid. That was round 5. We will see you for round 6. Thank you for everybody who has already liked the video today. Do so if you're watching this back, and we will catch you on the next race day.